Nice!
Yeah!
Nice! I'm almost nice!
Yeah!
Hello and welcome to
A Couple Codes.
My name is Cody.
And my name is Emily.
And we've been doing the Odin Project for 15 weeks straight. So today we're going to give you an update on our progress that we made this week and what we've been working on. So Em, where are you at in the curriculum?
I am 41% of the way through the JavaScript course.
Nice!
Yeah! Where are you in the JavaScript course?
88% of the way through the JavaScript course. I'm almost done with that JavaScript course. So what have you been working on, Em?
Well, I created a contact form with custom JavaScript validation.
Nice!
Yeah! And I learned about ES6, JSON, asynchronous code, and APIs. And to practice using APIs, I built a simple web page that populates random GIFs by fetching data from GIPHY API. What have you been up to?
So I started off my week with quite a bit of reading on Monday and a little bit of reading on Tuesday. I got my typing in, on most days for my typing practice. In addition to that, I did start some projects, but I'll talk about those in a second. The readings that I did this week were on test-driven development within React, so using Jest with React specifically with some specific libraries. And I also learned about routing within React to render on the client side and also updating the URL on the client side. What is your progress on the projects, Em?
Well, I started the weather app yesterday. Where are you with project?
I started and finished a memory card project on Monday. Tried to keep it super simple, so that's why I got it done in the day. And I also started the shopping cart project, which is what I'm still working on right now. Is there anything significant that you learned this week, Em?
I am excited about APIs. You have talked about APIs a lot, and I have always been confused about them. But now that I understand what application programming interfaces are and how you can use them, it's really exciting. It's really opened my eyes to all the different things that you can do with your projects when you have access to APIs. What has been significant that you've learned about?
I would say, the things that I talked about earlier, the routing and the test-driven development. Test-driven development mainly because there's a lot more that you can do with React now that you can do user events essentially, so testing for clicking and that kind of stuff. I guess you might be able to do that with regular JavaScript testing, but it is kind of cool to see it now with this front-end framework. And the routing is pretty significant because it does allow you to do some more complex things with state and, again, pushing things down to the client side so you're not making calls to the server. I'd say both of those were pretty significant this week, and I'm excited that I'm actually applying them within the shopping cart project. So, have you had any big challenges this weekend?
The biggest challenge for me was reading 2 chapters of You Don't Know JS. They were very long, they were very detailed. I think they were the longest and most detailed pieces of documentation that we've been assigned to read so far. And as I was kind of struggling through them, I actually did go onto the Odin Discord at one point and I looked up the assignment to see if anyone else said anything about it. And lo and behold, there were a bunch of people who were all experiencing the same thing as me. And so that helped me to feel a little bit less alone, and it was pretty encouraging for me to just keep working through it. And I'm glad that I did, because everything that I learned the next day about async and await all built on the foundation of promises and the issues that you encounter with callbacks and callback hell. So I was really glad that I invested that time in reading those chapters. If anyone else is struggling through an assignment or something similar to that, the thing that I found most helpful for myself is to set a 25-minute timer and just give all of my attention to reading that assignment for the 25 minutes and then take a couple-minute break. And just keep doing those chunks back to back until you can make some decent progress through it. What has been challenging for you this week?
Before we get to that, do you know JS now?
You don't know JS! I don't know JS! There are actually, I still don't 100% understand everything that I read, but I understand the gist of it. But I don't know JS.
I'd say the biggest challenge for me this week was figuring out where should I put my state for my shopping cart. And particularly that was a problem when I was trying to make the item quantity within my cart icon at the top of the screen update in addition to the product card quantities update at the same time. I talked about that in a couple of my videos, and I talked specifically yesterday in the vlog about how I fixed that with 3 things that I had to change to make those things align, so the cart and the product card align in the quantities. So check out that video if you're interested. And I did get through it, but it did take just a bunch of like trying different things, and it was kind of complex because there was interactions between these things, so it had to try out like combinations of things. So that's why I had to specifically do 3 separate things to do just this one thing of aligning 2 different components, item quantities. But that's all I have.
Well,
that's all we have.
That's all we have. So
for this week.
You'll see us next week.
Next week. It's going to be a short week potentially.
Yes.
But you'll see it next week.
Thank you very much for tuning in, and be sure to hit the like button if you enjoyed this, and be sure to subscribe if you'd like to keep following along on our web dev journey.
Thanks for tuning into
A Couple Codes.